My son asked me, "Dad, what does a man do?" I said, "A man is responsible for and cares for his family." My son said, "Oh, I hope one day I'll be a man just like Mom." Welcome to Shave&Butcher. The kids, they have it figured out. They sure do. The shave today is with English Rose from Wickham 1912. It's a vegetal soap, and it smells like English roses. The razor is from, what is it? N&R Dodge in Sheffield. It's an old wedge. Quite a bit of rust marks and stuff on it, but it's a good razor. Brushes, the Duke from Simpsons. You see a bit of the same stuff, because I had to clear the bathroom out for showing it to people who may be interested in purchasing the house, and as a result, quite a bit of my gear is in boxes in the basement. So, you know, occasionally I go down and swap the contents of these cabinets, but not all the time. But this I haven't used in, I think, a year. It still smells very, very nice. I had way too much water in the brush, so now it's all a bit of a foam mess. So I'll try and make sure I load properly, because this is a rather small knot, brush knot, compared to what I'm used to, which is why sometimes you don't get enough soap on the brush. Very rare that happens. But hey, lovely. I don't have the scent notes, but it sure smells like roses. So it's morning. I woke up and I smelled the roses, and they smell good, which is nice. This soap makes a lather, which is, in my recollection, high volume type lather, not the super heavy stuff. But maybe it's possible to make it dense and heavy and low volume. Possibly. Let's see. We sure have enough. That's for damn sure. So we'll be here a while. It is allowed to fast forward. But you know, I would rather you get bored than me having anything but a perfect lather, right? So I was talking with colleagues yesterday, and they disagreed with what I was saying, but I think they didn't quite get my point, and I didn't want to spoil lunch. So what I said to them was that it feels like people talking about politics, and I know you shouldn't talk about politics in a shaving video, but I'm not going to be, I'll talk in general rather than left or right stuff. I think people not only do people stay firm in their opinions when they talk to others. It's a slick soap, and I've got it on the handle, so I could end up dropping this brush actually. So people are firm in their opinions, but it's like people don't want to, come to an agreement when you talk about something political. And now, these days, everything is political, apparently, and there's a cultural war, apparently, which is like, come on. It's like people want the war, you know? I get it. It's fun to argue. I like to argue things, and I like to be provocative and so forth, just to stir up a bit of emotion and make people think. I think it's a good part of a good talk, you know, a bit of banter. But it's like people don't want to agree. So, right or left. You know, I have friends, colleagues, acquaintances who would not speak to, or even stop speaking to people who they discover vote, conservative, or whatever it is in your country. Here it's right-wing conservative. Huh? You know, who look at that. So it's reasonably, it's not airy, it's pretty good, but it's higher volume, lower density than a lot of other soaps. I like it very much. So my friend who would not speak to someone they know when they find out they vote right-wing conservative. And who deep down think, if you're that stupid, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. And then I have friends, colleagues, acquaintances who just stop listen when anything progressive, if that's the word, which is left-wing / liberal meaning very different things depending where you're from, and would just go, oh, that's woke nonsense. I just shut off, and I find those two kind of people have conversations, or they don't, because they avoid. One will avoid the topic, and the other one won't listen to the other one. What the hell good does that do? And I don't know how big a part of the population that sums up. And perhaps it's more in North America than in Sweden. I honestly don't know. But I know it's something that I know a lot of you would recognize this, and a lot of you would be one of those two people who won't listen, and who thinks the other party should basically just shut up. I just find that very strange. I have some pretty strong political opinions. I won't go into those. But I'd go as far as saying I almost don't respect. I mean, I respect other people, but I go as far as saying I almost don't respect their political opinions. And I think they're wrong, and I think they're stupid, and I think they're being fooled by people they listen to, politicians and others. But enjoy talking to them. And I think it's important that we do continue to talk and that we do continue to argue about these things, but that we start listening. Because at the end of the day, we need to find compromises. And plus, just make life a little bit less annoying if the conversation wasn't the same all the time. And you have media who's extremely biased, left and right, and we find ourselves in this echo chamber where we listen to and are being fed news and opinions that fit our own views, where we should, at least sometimes, listen to the other side. Or someone neutral. And this doesn't mean we're going to agree more. But at least, perhaps we could have civilized conversations. And disagree. Disagreeing is part of the process, part of the democracy. I'm sick and tired of people saying democracy is overrated. And interestingly, I hear this from the left and from the right. Come on, guys. Come on. there has to be some basic truth in the world. So, yeah. So I try to challenge myself to listen to the opinions of people I disagree with. I don't do it all the time. Most of the time, I listen to people I agree with because I want to sharpen my opinions and arguments. And maybe you don't care about this stuff, and so it doesn't matter if you have sharp arguments. I just happen to find politics and life in general quite interesting to debate. For a wedge, this one is really, really smooth. Some wedges can feel a bit tuggy, even though they're super sharp. This one is just really smooth. So it's 150 years old, rusty and beat up. That's a wedge, but it's super smooth to shave with, and it gives you a shave which is just terrific. And I can't remember what I paid for it, but I didn't pay a whole lot because people shy away from razors that have quite a bit of rust. But if you don't have a lot of rust or any rust near the edge, then it really doesn't matter about the other stuff because it's not going to affect the quality of the shave. So there you go. It's not as pretty, although I think patina is quite attractive. Just look at me. So anyway, I don't know what you think, but I wanted to get this off my chest. Just listen to each other. listen and disagree. Try not to be in your echo chamber. You know, force yourself, at least sometimes, to listen to people you disagree with. Because, you know, maybe you'll change your mind. Probably you won't, but at least you can have a, well, maybe your opinion is going to be even more firm and strong, but then at least it's an informed decision. And you know, not knowing what you think about something because you listen to different opinions is okay. It's okay. Eventually you'll form an opinion, but it's okay to not know what you think. It's okay to think, well, this side has a point and the other side has a point too, and I just don't know. That can even be refreshing. It's hard if you're a man, I know. Trust me, it's not very often that I say, I don't know. Except if it's a decision between this wallpaper and that wallpaper, which look the same. Oh, that was such an enjoyable shave. All good gear all the way through. Fantastic soap. They have a whole series and they're all, I've tried at least 10 and all the scents are really, really nice. None are very difficult. What do I use as an aftershave? I usually use these balms and I want to put on I'm just going to put on a generic, whatever this is, facial balm, which doesn't smell very much. I'm going to put on a perfume. I'm going to put on, as I often do these days, Penhaligon's, the inimitable William Penhaligon. It's my first and only scent from this maker in England, but it's a beauty. Next time I go to England, I think I will scout out another one and get one more, because it's a killer scent. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening to me ramble. No one listens to me, so I need, and you don't have to listen to me either, but I get stuff off my chest on the YouTube channel, so we're here for me mainly, not so much for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and you stay sharp.